here with Loving Rochester, and thank you for joining us for day 2 of Karen's Corner, where we discuss different ways to improve our life. And right now we're focusing on Suzanne Summers' 365 Ways to Change Your Life. And this is January 2nd, a beautiful day. No matter what, we can always say it's a beautiful day. So let's get into today's passage. When I speak about wounding, I now realize that the negatives of life are essential for growth. That is, and this is important, until they are no longer needed as a tool for growth. I have spent the better part of the past years endlessly reviewing and trying to understand the effects of my childhood upon my adult life. I have experienced many stages of realizations that have moved me forward as a person. It has taken years to finally get to this place of peacefulness. So many times along the way I wanted to give up and move on. Yet it became apparent to me I could not move on until I dealt with each wound, each anger, each pent-up feeling. The more I would try to stuff my feelings down, the more depression I would feel. Going back and reliving buried pain is agitating and uncomfortable. Yet it is the only way to come to understand and then have forgiveness. Upon true forgiveness, I was able to let go of each hurt one by one, until one day the slate was clean. It was as though bricks had been lifted from my shoulders. The world had become a beautiful place. The worst was over and I felt free of burden I had carried for so long. It had become a part of me. As with a chronic toothache, you get used to it and you keep it at bay with constant medication, perhaps an aspirin or two every couple of hours. So too with emotional pain. I was so used to being there that I kept myself anesthetized with my patterns of behavior. These old patterns of mine were destructive. When the pain came, I would spend money I didn't have, to distract me. Or I would lie to protect the reality of who I really thought I was. Some people take away their pain with a cookie, sex, drugs, or alcohol. It is all the same. But pain does not go away. It just keeps getting buried deeper and deeper until we become our pain. Going back and looking holistically at yourself and your life is essential to unraveling the puzzle. Find the lesson in the wounding. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, look at the opportunity that has come from the experience. Are you more compassionate as a result? That would be the first positive result of your growth. Look for more gifts that came out of your pain. Make a list of what you like about yourself and what you don't like. Study the list on the paper. Start to look at your life as a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. This is the beginning. Along the way, you will come to realize, as I have, that the wounding or pain was a gift. From there, you will learn what it is that you have come here to do. Life will fall into place, and then the peace will begin. Today's thought for the day. I will go back and remember my first painful memories, knowing that the object is not to stir up the past, but that to remember this is the beginning of healing. I will not be afraid. It is the courage of these first steps that will change my life. I must remember that I am no longer ruled by old hurts, but have mastery over them. Harm that has been done to me is not my fault. I remember my first pain, and this is kind of silly, but it goes back to when I was probably 3, 4, and my mother asked me, she goes, "Karen, do you want the big girl bed or do you want to stay in your crib?" And me thinking, yeah, I want the big girl bed. I'm like, yeah, give me the big girl bed, give me the big girl bed. And then she took away my crib like almost immediately. And then I had to sleep in that big scary bed all by myself. And I wanted the comfort of my crib back, but she wouldn't give it to me. And I was very, very upset. Still to this day, I remember it, how many years later. So clearly it affected me. But I'm thankful for my mother doing that. I mean, it's something that we all have to go through. There are times that when we need to grow, we need to change, we need to make that next step, yet the fear stops us. And thankful for her, she didn't baby me for the rest of my life to where I stayed in this crib that clearly I would have grown out of, so I'm thankful for that. But, your first pain, you might not remember that far back. You might remember maybe some kids at school being mean to you, or picking on you or not letting you play with them. And, those are all pains that we hold deep inside us. And these are things that we need to let go of. Yes, they may have hurt us, but it is not something that we need to carry around for the rest of our lives. We need to learn to let it go. So again, in your journal, take a moment to go back in time and think about those days. Who hurt you or what happened? Where was your first pain? Write it down and then think about how did you benefit from this? In what way did it encourage you to do something different or to do something better? This is Karen Lambert with Karen's Corner. I hope you have a great day today, January 2nd, 2020. Let's make 2020 the best 2020 we can make it. And I wish you all a lovely, great day. Thank you.